All right, let's dive right into this explainer and uncover the secret sheet music of everyday language. You know how some poems, or even just random phrases, get completely stuck in your head, echoing like a catchy song? Well, it's not magic, it's architecture. Today, we're exploring poetic meter and metrics, the literal, hidden framework that gives words their undeniable rhythm.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the rhythm of poetry, move into the 5 poetic feet, count the beats, talk about why meter actually matters, and finally wrap up with a metrical challenge. Section 1. The rhythm of poetry and the foundations of the beat. So, the crucial thing to remember here is that meter isn't just some dusty, abstract academic term invented to torture us in English class. It is the literal heartbeat of a poem. It's that specific, recurring pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. Think of it this way. Just like a drummer lays down a beat to give a track its groove, a poet relies on meter to give their words a physical, predictable rhythm, something you can actually feel.
And if meter is the rhythm itself, metrics, or prosody, as it's often called, is the study of that rhythm. Metrics is how we put that rhythm under a microscope. We use it to figure out exactly how the poet is manipulating our emotions. When we examine a line and describe its specific rhythmic pattern, we're doing metrical analysis. We're basically becoming linguistic detectives.
Notice how stress works when we break sound down into syllables. Whenever we speak, we just naturally hit some syllables a lot harder than others. Try saying the word today and then say table. In today, the heavy emphasis or stress lands on that second syllable, today. But in table, that heavy strike hits right at the front, ta-bull. That natural vocal emphasis, that is the raw material of poetic rhythm. Once we've got a handle on stressed and unstressed syllables, we start combining them into what's called a foot. Think of a poetic foot exactly like a single musical measure. It's the foundational building block of meter. Poets just take these little blocks and string them together side by side to construct an entire rhythmic song. Section 2, the 5 poetic feet. Let's look at these building blocks. First up, the I am. This is one unstressed syllable followed immediately by a stressed one. It's a soft, hard pattern, just like in the word today. Listen to the flow of this line. I walk along the road today. The I am is so natural, it closely mimics everyday speech, and it sounds remarkably like a steady human heartbeat. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Supernatural, really soothing. But what if we flipped that exact pattern? That gives us the trochee. Listen to the heavy, energetic drop of the trochee, where the stress hits first and the unstressed syllable follows. Dum-da, like the word table. String a few of these together and you get this strong, forceful, almost chanting rhythm. Tigers roaming through the jungle. You can hear how much more aggressive and punchy that feels compared to the I am, right? Next is the anapest. This foot uses 2 soft, unstressed syllables before striking with a hard stress at the end. The pattern is da-da-dum. Take the phrase, in the dark. When a poet links anapests together, it creates a fast-paced, rolling kind of movement, and the wind blew across the dark sea. You can literally feel the momentum gathering and rolling forward like a wave. Now, conversely, the dactyl reverses that wave. It starts with a strong stress and trails off with 2 unstressed syllables. Dum-da-da. Think of the word merrily. This gives us a highly musical, flowing, and frankly, dramatic effect. Just listen to the lilt of this line. Happily singing the children were playing. It just dances right off the tongue. Finally, we have the spondee. This is the absolute heavyweight champion of poetic feet. 2 completely stressed syllables placed back to back. Dum-dum. Words like heartbreak or phrases like dead stop. When a poet needs to create sudden, jarring intensity, emphasize a deeply important idea, or literally slam the brakes on the rhythm of a poem, they'll drop a heavy spondee. Section 3, counting the beats and types of meter. This table brilliantly illustrates how the total number of feet in a single line determines its formal metrical name. It's honestly just a simple counting system. 1 foot is monometer, 2 is dimeter, 3 is trimeter, 4 is tetrameter, 5 is pentameter, and so on, moving all the way down to a lengthy 8-foot octameter. You literally just pair the name of the foot with the number of times it shows up in the line. That's the whole shebang. Let's see this in action. Take a look at a line with 2 I ams. The sun will rise. That's iambic diameter. Short, punchy, gets right to the point. But compare that to 5 I ams strung together. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You can clearly hear the difference. That sweeping 5-beat line is iambic pentameter. It's arguably the most famous meter in all of English poetry and for sure an absolute favorite of William Shakespeare.
Section 4. Why meter matters. The poet's tools.
So why does all this actually matter? Well, the truth is, meter isn't just about blindly following rules. It is an incredibly powerful psychological tool. Poets use it to establish mood beneath the actual words. A fast rolling meter like the Anapist can subconsciously suggest excitement or action, while a slow heavy meter suggests sadness or gravity. Plus, strong stress patterns emphasize the most critical themes of the work, locking them right into our brains. The structure makes the poems highly memorable, which is exactly why certain verses get passed down through centuries. They just sound so satisfying to the human ear.
Section 5. The metrical challenge. Let's test your knowledge. Let's try specimen line, the moon shines softly in the sky. Step 1. We systematically break the line down into syllables and identify the natural vocal emphasis. The moon shines softly in the sky. Okay, step 2. We identify that da-dum pattern. It's an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one, which we know is the iamb. Step 3, we count them up. There are 4 of these iambic feet. Boom. We've successfully performed metrical analysis to figure out this line is written in iambic tetrameter. All right, let's do a quick memory test right now. Based on the assessment from our source text, do you remember which foot mimics the natural da-dum rhythm of a heartbeat? The pattern of unstressed followed directly by stressed? Is it the trochee, dactyl, iamb, or sponde? Go ahead and lock in your answer.
Question 2. Thinking back to our counting system and Shakespeare's absolute favorite rhythm, how many total beats, or feet, make up a pentameter? 2, 3, 4, or 5? Let's see how you did. If you chose iamb for the soft, heavy pattern and 5 feet for pentameter, you absolutely nailed it. And if you got both of those right, you're well on your way to achieving an excellent rating on the full 15-question assessment provided in the source text. It's pretty amazing how quickly we can train our ears to pick up on these structured patterns, isn't it?
We've covered a ton of ground in this explainer, from the heavy drops of the spondee to the rolling waves of the anapest. But I want to leave you with this final thought. Meter isn't just trapped in some dusty poetry book. It is everywhere. The next time you're talking to a friend, or even just ordering a coffee, listen closely to the stresses and pauses of your own voice. Ask yourself, what hidden poetry are you unconsciously creating in your everyday conversations?